The movie begins in the enchanted kingdom of Frel, a land where giants, elves, fairies, and ogres live alongside humans in a world full of wonder and danger. In a modest home on the outskirts of town, a baby named Ella is born to a loving mother and cared for by a well-meaning household fairy named Mandy. But on the day of her birth, a notoriously reckless fairy godmother named Lucinda arrives and blesses Ella with what she believes is the perfect gift: obedience. From that moment on, Ella loses all free will. Any order, no matter how ridiculous or cruel, becomes a command she must follow. As Ella grows, the curse becomes a prison. If someone tells her to bite me, she'll literally bite. If someone shouts hurry, she'll sprint like lightning. Even the simplest everyday moments become dangerous traps. Her mother, fearing how dangerous the truth could be, orders Ella never to reveal her curse, an order she is bound to obey for life. When her mother falls ill and tragically passes away, Ella is left alone with a secret she cannot share. Years later, her father, financially struggling and emotionally absent, marries the wealthy Dame Olga. Along with her two bratty daughters, Hattie and Olive, the new family quickly makes Ella's life miserable. They take her room, her belongings, even her mother's cherished necklace, and Ella cannot stop them because any command instantly binds her. But she never stops fighting back in the only quiet ways she can. At Frel Community College, Ella's path crosses with political conflict. Prince Charmant, known as Char, is beloved across the kingdom for his looks and charm, but Ella detests the kingdom's oppressive laws that discriminate against giants, elves, and ogres. When Hattie orders Ella to humiliate herself mid-debate, Ella loses control and embarrasses herself, drawing suspicion from those around her. That moment plants the seed of curiosity in Hattie's mind. Something is wrong with this girl. Meanwhile, Prince Char travels with his uncle Edgar, a cold and ambitious regent who has been ruling since Char's father reportedly died in an ogre attack. Edgar manipulates Char with stories of danger, insisting that the kingdom needs harsh control. Char, though good-hearted, doesn't yet realize how deeply corrupt Edgar truly is. At a public event, a mob of adoring girls chase the prince, and Char escapes, right into Ella's path. Unlike everyone else, Ella is not impressed by the prince's perfect image. In fact, she openly challenges him about the unfair treatment of magical creatures. Char, intrigued by her boldness, walks her home. But when he tells Ella to wait there, she becomes magically frozen on the spot. A runaway carriage barrels toward her, and only Char's quick reflexes save her life. Embarrassed and shaken, Ella insists she wants nothing more to do with him, but trouble finds her anyway. Hattie finally figures out Ella's terrible secret: she can't disobey an order. With this new knowledge, Hattie and Olive force Ella to steal from a shop, escalating their cruelty until Ella is caught and publicly humiliated. Back home, Ella is forced to lie and blame her best friend, an act that breaks her heart. That night, unable to bear the pain, Ella decides she must find Lucinda and convince her to remove the curse. Mandy reveals that she once trapped her boyfriend inside a magic book named Benny, who can now show Ella the whereabouts of anyone she searches for. Ella sees Lucinda heading toward Giantville for a wedding and sets off on a dangerous journey. Before she leaves her stepfamily a parting gift: a bouquet of poison ivy. On the road, Ella rescues an elf named Slannon from a group of thugs. Slannon dreams of being a lawyer, but Edgar's laws forbid elves from anything but entertaining. Ella invites him to join her mission to speak to Prince Char about changing the kingdom. Soon after, they witness enslaved elves being taken away in chains. Filled with outrage, Ella encourages Slannon to stand up for his people, and he joins her on the quest. Their journey takes a dangerous turn when a pack of ogres ambushes them. Because the ogres command Ella to climb into their cooking pot, she cannot resist. Just when all seems lost, Prince Char and his guards arrive, fighting off the ogres and saving both Ella and Slannon. Char, impressed and curious, invites them to travel with him. Ella reluctantly agrees. Char proves to be much more compassionate than Ella expected. He listens as Slannon describes the injustices elves face, and for the first time, Char begins questioning the world he grew up in. Ella challenges him constantly, and Char, far from offended, is drawn to her honesty. The two grow closer during their travels, and the Slannon even begins flirting with a giant girl they later meet. When the group reaches the giant's wedding feast, Ella searches frantically for Lucinda, only to discover she has already left. Char, meanwhile, shares heartfelt conversations with the giants and realizes how exploited they have been. Inspired by Ella's influence, he vows to change the kingdom's laws once he becomes king. That moment touches Ella deeply. And now a question for you. If you suddenly discovered someone you cared about was being controlled by magic and hiding a dangerous curse, what would you do? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. Later that night, under lantern light and soft music, Ella and Char dance together, sharing a quiet, intimate moment neither expected. For the first time in her life, Ella feels seen, not as a servant to her curse, but as her true self. They kiss, and Ella dares to imagine a future free from obedience. But everything changes when they return to the castle for Char's coronation ceremony. Hattie and Olive race around scheming for Char's attention, while Edgar secretly monitors Ella. When he accidentally gives her a series of simple commands, he realizes she obeys instantly. His snake whispers that Ella has been influencing Char, and Edgar quickly grows paranoid. In a dark chamber, Edgar interrogates Hattie and Olive. Desperate to gain favor, Hattie reveals Ella's curse in exchange for a chance to marry Char. Edgar immediately summons Ella and tests the magic himself, ordering her to dance against her will. The moment he confirms she cannot disobey an order, his true plan unfolds. Edgar hands Ella a dagger and orders her to kill Prince Char at the stroke of midnight. Horrified yet powerless, Ella begs for mercy. Edgar reveals the truth at last. He murdered Char's father and framed the ogres. Now he intends to kill Char and seize the throne forever. With a final command to keep silent, he sends Ella away, forcing her to become the weapon of his betrayal. Desperate to stop herself, Ella searches once again for Lucinda, but the fairy has vanished. Realizing she might be powerless to stop the assassination, Ella writes Char a heartbreaking farewell letter and flees the kingdom. On a forest path, she begs Slannon to chain her to a tree so she cannot harm the prince. Unable to explain the truth, she orders Slannon to gather giants, elves, and ogres to save the kingdom. Slannon and his new allies return to the castle, retrieve Benny from the trash, and learn that Ella is imprisoned in the dungeon. With courage and unity, they break into the castle, free her, and uncover Edgar's final trap. The crown itself is poisoned. Ella bursts into the coronation hall just in time to halt the ceremony. Chaos explodes across the ballroom. Edgar unleashes deadly guards, and the magical races join forces with Slannon to fight them. Char, confused but still deeply trusting Ella, stands by her. In the madness, Ella finally confesses everything: the curse, Edgar's orders, and the truth about the king's death. Edgar's snake lunges at Char, confirming Ella's story. Enraged, Char confronts his uncle as Edgar tries to escape. But in a twist of poetic justice, Edgar grabs the poisoned crown and places it on his own head, sealing his fate. The tyrant collapses, and the kingdom is finally free of his rule. Char turns to Ella, still holding the dagger she was ordered to use against him. For a moment, the entire kingdom watches in silence, but Ella has already broken her chains. In the Hall of Mirrors, moments before midnight, she looked into her reflection and commanded herself to stop obeying. Through sheer force of will, she shattered Lucinda's curse forever. Now she drops the dagger, and Char finally understands her suffering. Later, after Edgar is defeated, Char proposes to Ella with heartfelt sincerity. And this time she answers not because she must, but because she chooses to. Her voice steady, her eyes full of freedom, Ella accepts his proposal. Hattie attempts one last act of jealousy, but Ella, no longer bound, takes back her mother's necklace and kisses the prince passionately. Their wedding becomes a celebration of unity across all magical races. Giants dance with elves, ogres feast with humans, and music fills the kingdom. Benny is restored to life, Mandy is overjoyed, and Slannon finally sees a future where he can become the lawyer he dreams to be. With laughter and music, Ella and Char ride off into the sunset, beginning their new life together. And so Ella, once a prisoner to her own obedience, becomes a queen defined by courage, hope, and free will. Her journey from cursed girl to empowered heroine inspires a kingdom to change, proving that even the smallest act of defiance can rewrite destiny. If you enjoyed this epic recap, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be the first to catch our newest videos, and don't forget to drop a comment telling us which movie you want to see next. Thanks for watching. See you in the next story.